In the sprawling, war-torn galaxy of the 41st millennium, countless tales of heroism and tragedy are etched into the annals of history. Yet none are as shrouded in mystery as the story of the lost sons of the Emperor. We know of the 18 Primarchs who led the Space Marine legions, their names echoing through eternity: Guilliman, the Lion, Horus. But there were 20. 2 Primarchs and their corresponding legions were erased from all Imperial records, their very existence a classified secret of the highest order. To understand this mystery, we must travel back to the dawn of the Imperium, to the unification wars on Terra. The Emperor of mankind, in his grand vision to reunite humanity, embarked on the Primarch project. Using his own genetic material, he created 20 superhuman sons, each designed to be a general, a leader, and a beacon for humanity's future. But the forces of chaos intervened. The infant Primarchs were snatched from their gestation capsules and scattered across the galaxy, each landing on a different world to be raised in a unique and often brutal environment. Eventually, the Emperor, leading his new great crusade, found his sons one by one. Each reunion was a momentous occasion. A lost prince returned to his father's side. Each was given command of a Space Marine legion crafted from his own genetic template. We have detailed records of 18 of these discoveries. We know of Lemon Russ found on the death world of Fenris, of Angran found in the gladiator pits of Nuceria, and of Mortarion discovered on the toxic planet of Barbaros. But for 2 of them the records are silent. All we have are whispers and fragmented clues. The official Imperial doctrine is simple. There were never 20 legions. There were only 18. Any mention of the 2nd or 11th is considered heresy, punishable by death. In official records, the legions are numbered I through XX, but 2 and She are conspicuously absent. The remaining Primarchs themselves were sworn to secrecy, their minds psychically scrubbed or bound by oaths to never speak of their lost brothers. This absolute censorship is what makes the mystery so tantalizing. The Imperium is no stranger to tragedy. They openly record the heresies of Horus and the other traitor Primarchs. They document failures, disasters, and worlds lost. So what could the lost Primarchs have done that was so terrible, so utterly unspeakable, that their very memory had to be expunged from the galaxy? This wasn't just a defeat. This was a conscious, systematic effort to erase them from history itself. Let's look at the few clues we have. The numbering of the legions, I to XX, confirms there were 20. In early Crusade-era texts, before the memory wipe was complete, there are fleeting references to 20 legions. Then there are the reactions of the other Primarchs. When asked, their responses range from stony silence to deep, palpable grief. Reboot Guilliman, the most organized and meticulous of them all, simply refers to them as the Forgotten and the Purged. The phrasing is important. One was forgotten, one was purged. This suggests 2 separate, distinct incidents. Horus Lupercal, before his fall to chaos, once spoke to Malagurus the Twisted, his equerry. He mentioned a past failure, a mistake he made concerning one of his brothers, and vowed not to fail another, referring to Angran. This implies that Horus might have been involved in the downfall of one of the lost Primarchs, and the guilt he carried may have been a factor in his own later corruption. Lemon Russ, the Emperor's executioner, is another key figure. His legion, the Space Wolves, were known to be the Emperor's final sanction. When a legion, or even a Primarch, needed to be brought to heel, it was often the wolves who were dispatched. It's widely speculated that Russ and his legion were responsible for carrying out the sentence on at least one of their lost brothers. The event on Prospero, where the Space Wolves destroyed the Thousand Sons Legion, was referred to as the 2nd time Russ's legion had been used to censure another Astartes legion. The first time? It's almost certainly the incident involving one of the lost sons. So what could their crime have been? The theories are as numerous as the stars. One popular idea is that one or both of the Primarchs suffered from a catastrophic genetic mutation. Perhaps their gene seed was unstable, creating monstrous Astartes that had to be put down to prevent the flaw from spreading. The Imperium prizes genetic purity above all else, and a legion of uncontrollable mutants would be a shame they want to bury forever. Think about the black rage of the Blood Angels or the Wolfen curse of the Space Wolves. These are tolerated, but maybe the affliction of the 2nd or 11th Legion was far, far worse. Another theory points to a political or ideological failing. Perhaps one of the lost Primarchs refused to bow to the Imperial truth, the state-mandated atheism of the Great Crusade. Maybe he encountered a benevolent alien race, like the Entrex, and refused to conquer them, siding with the Xenos over the Imperium's ruthless expansion. Such a betrayal of the Crusade's core tenets would be an unforgivable defiance of the Emperor's will, a challenge to his entire vision for humanity. Erasing such an idea, the idea that a Primarch could find a better way than the Emperor's, would be paramount. Then there is the darkest possibility, an early fall to chaos. We know Horus and half his brothers turned during the Heresy, but what if one or two fell long before that? A premature heresy would have been a devastating blow to the Emperor's plans and a terrifying omen of what was to come. The Emperor might have suppressed the information to prevent fear and doubt from spreading among the other legions, fearing a contagion of corruption. It would explain the extreme measures taken. You don't just defeat chaos, you try to erase any knowledge of its influence. The fate of the Space Marines from these legions is another piece of the puzzle. It's stated that the Space Marines of the two lost legions were not all destroyed. Instead, they were absorbed into other legions. Most accounts point to the Ultramarines and the Imperial Fists as the primary recipients of these orphaned Astartes. This makes sense. Guilliman's Ultramarines were the largest and most stable legion, capable of integrating vast numbers of new troops without issue. Dorn's Imperial Fists were known for their unwavering loyalty and mental fortitude, making them ideal candidates to recondition and discipline warriors from a disgraced legion. This act of absorption served two purposes. First, it salvaged the valuable Astartes, a resource too precious to waste. Second, it was the final step in the erasure. By folding the Marines into new legions, their old identities, traditions, and loyalties would be washed away over time, leaving no trace of their origins. Imagine being a Space Marine, your Primarch gone, your legion's name forbidden, forced to wear the colors of another legion, and pretend your past never happened. The psychological weight of that must have been immense. So, who were they? We have no names, only numbers. But the fan community has, of course, filled the void with incredible theories. Was one a master bioengineer whose experiments went too far, creating horrors that threatened the galaxy? Was one a philosopher king who saw the tyranny in the Emperor stream and chose to walk away? Did one fall to a Xenos god, something other than chaos? The beauty of the lost Primarchs is that there is no official answer. Games Workshop has deliberately left this a blank space in the lore, a permanent mystery for fans to ponder. It allows us to imagine what could have been. It adds a layer of depth and tragedy to the story of the Emperor and his sons. It reminds us that even in a universe with detailed histories spanning millennia, some secrets are too terrible to be remembered. The story of the lost Primarchs is a testament to the Imperium's brutal nature. It's a regime built on secrets and lies, one that would rather surgically remove a part of its own history than admit to a flaw in its grand design. The two lost sons are not just missing characters. They are a symbol of the darkness that has always lurked beneath the surface of the Emperor's golden ambitions. They are the ghosts in the machine, the silent testament to the fact that the Horus Heresy was not the first time brother turned against brother. And as long as their story remains untold, the mystery of the 2nd and 11th Legions will continue to haunt the grim darkness of the far future. What do you think happened to them? Did they suffer a genetic curse, commit an act of unforgivable heresy, or simply get on the Emperor's bad side? Let me know your theories in the comments below. The mystery is ours to solve. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this dive into one of Warhammer's greatest enigmas, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more lore from the 41st millennium. For the Emperor, or perhaps for the forgotten.